Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Northampton location, and today we're going to be taking a look at this beautiful 2003 BMW F650GS Dakar. Now, of course, this is a used motorcycle. However, it's hard to tell on first glance. This bike is in absolutely stunning condition and is showing only 6,400 original miles. Now, if you would like to see a high-resolution detailed photo set, of course that will be available via the listing at AlphaCars.com. However, today I'll be taking you on a quick condition overview around the motorcycle, as well as showing you some of the more interesting features specific to this F650GS. Now, for those of you who see the Dakar badging on the tank and are curious as to what that signifies, well, the Dakar is a rally race that began in the late 70s, and it stretched all the way from Paris in France to Dakar in Senegal. Now, of course, in its most recent years, the Dakar has taken place in South America. However, what hasn't changed is that it is a brutal, grueling off-road race over a very long distance. Now, a lot of manufacturers have applied this name badge to their models in an attempt to show just how developed and tuned their machines are for off-road use. And this is no exception, as we will see as we walk around the motorcycle. Now, on a similar note, related to the color scheme, any BMW nuts out there like myself will notice this very familiar color scheme and pattern on the side of the tank. Now, that, of course, is very familiar because it is the same pattern that you'll find draped over the corners of the E36 M3 Lightweight, and I thought that was a really cool touch that they put that on one of their adventure bikes. But taking a look at the rest of the paint, you can see it is in absolutely gorgeous condition. No major scratches to report anywhere on the paintwork. It looks just unbelievable. And you'll find that beautiful blend of blue, the traditional BMW M flag there, as well as some white accents as well with the BMW emblem in the side. Moving a bit towards the back, you'll find more of that beautiful blue and some white accents with that F650GS badging. Now, this Dakar badge is what, as I mentioned, is on what appears to be the gas tank. But on this particular motorcycle, for more proper weight distribution, you'll actually find the gas tank is this lower black plastic panel. This will be no surprise, as you see there's no obvious gas fill here on the top of the motorcycle. That is to be found over here on the side, and it funnels down into this nice reservoir. As I mentioned, that's for great weight distribution. You do want that weight a little bit lower to the ground in an off-road setting. You want it to be a bit more nimble. That's how you do it. As you can see here on this side of the tank, equally beautiful condition. And same goes for over here on the left side above the exhaust. Now, speaking of the exhaust, I absolutely love undertail pipes. And to see these beautiful dual undertail pipes on an adventure bike is a somewhat uncommon practice. Of course, not only is this beneficial because you don't have a low-hanging pipe here that's susceptible to striking the ground if you really load the suspension, but it also just looks awesome in my opinion. I think it's just amazing. You can see the exhaust is well shielded by lots of bodywork all the way up to the motor itself. Really nice to see. See, all of your lighting here on the bike is in great condition. All of the lighting functions exactly as designed. You still have the traditional plate mount. There's been no tail tighties applied to this bike. Looks great. You can see a nice little fender just behind the wheel that's going to catch any water or debris that's going to be flinging off of that tire. It's going to save it from either hitting your rear passenger or their legs. Even though it's a small little shield, it's right where it needs to be to catch those pebbles and rocks flying off the back of the motorcycle. Now, moving away from these painted surfaces, we're going to take a look at the silver accents like the frame, swing arm, and the engine. Now, taking a look at the motor, absolutely beautiful condition. You can see that silver paint shining bright, contrasting that blue beautifully. You can see here, kind of hidden, but in a very, very convenient location for on-the-fly adjustment, you do have your adjustment for your rear shock, which, as you can see, is just hidden behind the swing arm there. Now, around the chain, you also have this nice black plastic chain guard, so it won't be flinging chain lubrication up onto the exhaust and other sensitive areas. You can see here, you have lots of information. All of these stickers are still just in amazing condition. Really looks like it just left the factory. You see the chain is in great shape, as well as the sprocket, showing no excessive wear. All of your controls here look perfect. You do have these nice rubber pads for your foot, and a nice grippy rear brake lever here on the right. You'll also see your suspension linkage here underneath the motorcycle is also looking in order. All of the hardware in there looks great as well. Really a shocking condition for a motorcycle almost as old as I am. You can see here, Skid plate is in stunning condition as well. All the hardware looks very nice. And the skid plate's free of any dings or dents. You can see it hasn't struck the ground. Another nice view of the motor. See, the tire is also in very nice condition. This bike needs very little. See here, the silver wheels I think match the motor and frame very nicely, and they look just beautiful, showing a nice even finish all the way around. Now taking a look at the other side of the wheel and the front brakes. Find the front brakes provided by Brembo, of course. Beautiful name brand. You can see also on the inner portion of the rotor that ABS sensor. A bike from 2003 still having ABS, which is switchable on and off, which is of course very desirable in an off-road setting. Sometimes you want to allow a little bit of lockup. ABS can really be unpredictable in off-road settings. And as you can see, it's present on this motorcycle on both front and rear. More Brembo hardware here at the back, and another side of the swing arm in beautiful condition, showing more of those emblems. Now, the only corrosion you'll find on this bike are just little bits of surface corrosion. Absolutely nothing serious. See this side of the motor as well, beautiful condition. Kickstand looks great. It's not all dinged or beat up, looks beautiful. All of the cooling hoses look great as well. Now taking a look at your controls up here at the top of the motorcycle. See, they all look beautiful. You do have these bark busters here. Hand guards, of course, covering both of your hands. It's going to keep you a bit warmer and protect them from branches or other debris that you may strike on the widest part of the motorcycle. Now all the controls look very nice. Mirrors are just the same. And as I mentioned, with that switchable ABS, you'll find that just there beyond the handlebar. Now I'm going to fire it up for you real quick. As you can see, gauges all operate there. Now, one issue that we are going to sort out on this motorcycle, you'll see it as I start it up. Fires up without hesitation, sounds very healthy. You will notice the tachometer doesn't react as I rev the motorcycle. We are going to address this issue. We just took in this motorcycle very recently, and that's one thing we're going to address in the shop. But as you can hear, it runs very nicely. Now this engine produces around 50 horsepower and around 45 pounds-feet of torque, which is really in that sweet spot, in my opinion, for a bike of this stature and weight. It's just enough power, and because of that torque, it's very smoothly delivered all the way through the power band, which of course you do want in an off-road setting. As you can see here, windshield also very nice and clean. The transmission on this motorcycle is 5 forward gears. Shifts beautifully smooth, and I can't say I've ever been on a bike where finding neutral is easier. It's like a whole gear. It's a nice solid click, and I've never had to struggle to look for neutral, which of course is just a really nice little bit of convenience. As you can see here, this BMW branded cover here is lockable, and there's a little bit of storage you can find in there. It's a bit hard to operate with one hand, but I can assure you there is storage in there, and that cover operates and locks exactly as it should. And you can see this motorcycle is fitted with this seat, which may to some look a bit unorthodox. But I find after I'm straddling the bike and once I'm actually sitting in the intended position on the road, I find it to be very comfortable. It's got a nice wide base, and you can really find a comfortable riding position for both you and a passenger. And for your passenger, you do have these fold down pegs on either side, which look perfect. So if you have any further questions related to this gorgeous 2003 Dakar F650GS, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There you're going to find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from AlphaCars.